Been letting this sit overnight. This is the front wall. You don't have to let it sit overnight. It's just at the end of the day, if I want to come in and work real early in the morning and don't want to wait for glue to dry for 30 to 45 minutes, I just do it the night before, clamp it, maybe put some weights on it, and then it's good to go. So it's pretty early here in the morning today, and so now I've got something to do. This is going to be the front of the camper. The start of the roof. Well, the ceiling actually. Roof, ceiling. So let me show you a little bit about what I'm doing here. This is where the window is going to sit, right on here. And Scotty's generally used a 1x6. 3/4 actually by 5.5, something like that. So we put that one in here, and then this is going to be right there at the bottom. The very bottom on the front. And then you got to make sure that you take your measurement correctly here. And here's how I got my measurement. Right there. I just set that front piece right there just so it's out of the way. And I just measured it. So top to bottom, it was 35 inches. So I know that if I go over here, hey, like, subscribe, ring the bell. Most importantly, leave me a comment. You're the good people. So I started right down here. I measured up to here, 35. Then I glued this in, laid it in there, and that window will sit right there and be really stout. It'll hang in right there. So I'm going to flip this over. I'm going to paint it, and we'll talk about that. Now, do you have to glue those on? Absolutely not. You do not. For quite a while, I did not. I didn't. But I started doing that, and I found that it was easier to line up and make square the rest of the trailer. So we know that the trailer itself is 75 wide. We're using a 1/2 inch panel for each wall. That makes 76. So I can cut this at exactly 76. And our walls, if you remember, are not in place yet. Or they're in place, but they're not held in place permanently. We got our little 90 degrees holding them up. But if you look here, loving that camera work. Thanks for stopping by. We can do this. So if we're 1/4 off, we can move it 1/4 right now. So we know from measuring across the bottom that it's 76. And that's where it needs to stay, 76. So as we make everything 76 across, we know that we're going to more than likely have a better chance at staying square. I've never made one yet that's square. I don't know that it's possible. There's probably somebody out there. Maybe a hater will get on here and tell me exactly how to do it. But it's tough. It's tough to keep it square. So if you're building one now and you're like, I can't get this thing perfect, you're not going to. Just do your best. 'Cause that's all I'm doing. That's all I'm doing. So we put that light coat of clear shellac on the walls. That's what the customer wanted, a light coat. And I'm looking at it right now, and it's been a day that it's had to cure, and it looks nice. Real light, but that's what the customer wants. That's what the customer gets. So she wants to now paint the ceiling and the cabinets. So this wood, if you've ever worked with plywood or any of this utility board / luan, people call it, luan, you know that it's a thirsty wood. Thirsty wood. You can, won't look right, but you could just go on with your paint, maybe even that paint and primer in one, but then you're doing 2 or 3 coats with paint and primer in one. I don't like doing that. So I'm going to use just a They're not paying me. I'm just showing you what I use. I just use this primer like this because it really does look good. We're going with a light color too, but it really sets into this wood. Now, I did the same thing on the back panel. That way I could square up the back and the front at the same time, and then I could start building interior pieces. That's why I'm doing this. I don't really need right now to have the ceiling on, but I want to start getting things square so that I can build my interior. So anyway, I put this, I guess I should have bought a better, there it goes. And don't skimp on your rollers. Get the kind that the fuzz doesn't come off. They're like $3 a piece, but you'll be much more pleased with it when you're done. Much, much more pleased. So you put this primer on like this, blah, blah, blah. Uh-oh. Guess I should have followed my own directions. Now I didn't wipe this down very good. I'll probably do that right here. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and finish this primer, and then I'll show you the color that our customer has picked, and we'll get that color laid down on it as well. So I'm sure this has been just about boring enough. You don't want to sit and watch paint dry. So I'm going to be back as soon as I get this done and dry, and I'm going to be way more entertaining. So stick around. Finishing up the second coat. We got one coat of that primer on, and now this is that paint and primer in one. And like I told you, this plywood is so thirsty. One coat of anything is not going to do it. And really, it turns out to get a good finish, it takes like 3 coats. That's what this is. Quick fun fact, Rob the Rebuilder's least favorite thing to do on a camper, paint. I don't like to paint. Do not like to paint. And there's a lot of paint in this one. I don't like the paint. What are you one of those weird people that likes to paint? Tell me what your least favorite thing to do in the comments, please. I want to know, am I the weirdo? I don't think so. I hate to paint. Hate to paint. I love to build. It's in my name. I like to build the interior. That's my favorite thing to do. And it always seems to go so fast because I like doing it. Leave me a comment. Let me show you a quick close-up here. Do a little great camera work here. So, you're thinking to yourself, hey, you painted it white. That's what I thought. It's not white. You're saying, nah, I know white. That's white. It has a name. There's no such thing as white. There's a million whites. This is, look it over, see if you can see it, little bit of sugar. Little bit of sugar. Now, who doesn't like a little bit of sugar? I think it's white. But again, I don't care about painting. I don't like to paint. My mind's got to be right just to paint. But it's going to look good. We're going to get the front and the back installed here shortly. Take a minute. Leave me a comment. Least favorite thing to do. I hope it's painting. I really do. Unless you live by me and it's your favorite. RebuilderRob@gmail.com. I have got a job for you.